As you can see, I've got some of my Jane Davenport products out. So I woke this morning to have a message from a very dear friend who's currently very sadly losing her granddad today, I suspect, and is pretty heartbroken. And I didn't know what I was going to do today. So I've decided to dedicate this day to her. And it struck me that lots of people at the moment are losing people through what we're going through, but for other reasons too. And I've seen a lot on the Facebook feeds of different ways of managing and coping and grieving. And this was kind of my take on that. I've seen people make sort of comfort blankets and teddy bears out of old clothes and things like that. And I love all of those ideas. But obviously, I'm about art more than I am about sewing. So I found a royalty-free image of an angel. She looks a little bit half naked, so I'm not going for the whole half naked look, but I just love the position of her. And I've never done an image that really is bang smack in the middle. So I have very sketchily drawn her out. But what we're going to do, and I've just started up the top here, and I've written "I love you always," is write some affirmations, and these are going to go under our painting, but we will know, even though they're going to be covered up, that they are always there to remember. So I thought I would just start it off, and then I would just start writing some more. So I carry you with me always. Your memories will stay alive through me. I will take what you taught me and pass it on to friends. So I'm writing lots of affirmations about our loved ones and things that we might want to tell them. So this could include really special personal memories that you have of the person or of your loved one, or it could be as random as the things that I've written. So you get the idea, and I could go on and write lots and lots of things. But for the sake of this, these are sort of, for me, were 4 significant statements. So I'm just going to use, once we've got that going, so these affirmations are going to stay there forever under my picture. And every time I look at it, I will remember the things that I've written. So I'm going to cover them up. And affirmations are very much, the whole point of an affirmation is to change the way that we think, put into words what we think, say them out loud, change the way our brains automatically respond to situations. I think if we tell ourselves a negative story all the time, that's what we will give to us. So by writing positive things, these things can make a real difference to our, I don't know, way forward, I suppose. There has to be a way forward when someone dies, I feel, and it takes time. So what I'm going to do next while this is drying is work a little bit on her. I could do it with the hairdryer, but I'm going to just leave it to dry a bit and then touch it up. So I've got my watercolor soluble pencils. These are Faber-Castell, And as I say, this is my little reference picture, and I've originally drawn this out in normal pencil, but I'm now going to just go over it a little bit in my watercolor. This is a 4B watercolor, soluble. So I'm just going over it so that when I add water to it, it will give me some natural shading. So I'm just sort of putting a little bit of the shading in. Because I'm not going to do a sort of full piece of art. This isn't going to be a fine art piece at all. But that doesn't mean it can't be artistic. So this is the shadow that's under her wing. And we're going to put the details in the wing after. So I'll just get some shading going. When I was a nurse, I went on a bereavement course, and we talked about sort of all the things that people are suggested to do to help them grieve, and one of the things was to create a box of letters and memories or whatever, and then bury it in the garden so that there is somewhere to put it, so you don't have to feel like you're carrying it with you all the time, but that you can go out to the garden anytime and sit with it a while. And I thought that was really lovely. And then, this may make you chuckle, it made me chuckle, we had a woman that came to the group whose husband had died, and she was fairly elderly, I would say, and we were talking all very sensitively about our loved ones, you know, and it became apparent quite early on that she couldn't stand her husband and was actually quite pleased that he died. And so her therapy, her cathartic therapy, was she put a photograph of him under her doormat, and every day when she came in from going out, she'd stamp on it. I'd feel really good about it, and no one knew. She didn't tell anyone but us in the group, and nobody could work out why she was spending so much time stamping on her doormat. Whatever rocks, I guess. So as you can see, I really am just scribbling this image. I'm hoping you have no idea, guys, how much I wing these sessions. So we've given her a bit of a higher top for sake of decency. Right, so now I'm going to just use my little paintbrush and some water, and let's see what happens when we just start to encourage some of those shadows with that's why I've sort of scribbled in some areas more than others. So it should turn it into a sort of black and white painting, was my hope. There we go. So this set of pencils, I think there's about 6 in the set. It's about £10, but I think they should last quite a long time, and they were just really effective because they just turn quite a scribbly picture drawing into something that looks like, you know, quite a thought about painting. I'm winging it, guys. It's kind of working at the moment. I've done quite a few angels in my book. I think I like the idea of guardian angels watching over us a lot. I imagine mine will be having a go at me from up there. So I'm literally just being obviously a bit more careful around the face because I don't want big smudgy eyes. The point of this head was that you could see an awful lot of the hair, this top of her hairline, and that's giving us the impression that she's looking down, which is what we want. She's sort of in prayer. I'm going to just... Today is my affirmation day in tribute to one of my very good friends who messaged me this morning to say that sadly she thinks her beloved granddad is on his way, and it's really distressing, and I hate it when other people are distressed. I don't know if it's just the nurse in me or that wants to help. So here's the first stage of my angel. It's not too bad. I'm going to quickly dry that off, and this is obviously going to need another colour. So I'm going to just go in with a darker colour. Some of it's still a little bit wet. And this bit should be darker really. And her down here is quite in shade. A bit here in shade, which gives her figure. Sort of dip there. I'm very near at the end of this journal as well, which is quite exciting because I have plans for my next journal is going to be much bigger. I've kind of already made the cover for it, which I will show you when I get started. So I'm just using squiggly marks to sort of show off the wings. I might not even activate them, just leave them as they are. So just trying to put the shadow elements into the figure, which will just help it look. It's not obviously not exact as a drawing, but that should help quite a bit. So I'll go back in with my brush. Okay. She's kind of looking like an angel now. I don't want to activate, sort of change the lines, but I'd quite like this to be some contrast in darkness. So now she might not be perfect, but we're going to work on the background now. So this is still showing through. The gesso is quite thin in itself, so I've got some paint. I was going to use some of these crayons as well. That's the crayons, actually. These are Jane Davenport crayons, and they react with water. So these are the colours I want today. Although I've got some nice purple out. Yeah, I'm going with purple. Purple and yellow. Why not? So let me show you how they work. They are very cool. This is only the first level of the background, so I'm literally using them like a crayon, like so. And then I'm going to do the same with the purple. And remember, we're going over our affirmations, so they will always be there, but they're private and they're personal and no one else has to see them. But we all know they are there. So I'm going in with a slightly thicker brush just to wash them. So now I can activate and it turns it into paint. How cool is that? I think it's very cool. Now you can actually rub these with your finger to smudge them too, and you get a sort of stronger oil painting kind of look. So it depends on the look that you want. But I'm just starting with this kind of washy look. They are very a very clever product. There's 2 boxes in the set to complete the set, and they're not particularly cheap, but I think they last a long time and they just really are very good. I've used them loads in my books. So I'm just blotting it out to take some of the intensity away. It also helps speed up the drying. Okay. I want this kind of glowingness above her, and I'm going to do some darker underneath. Don't know what, I might just do black, but at the moment I'm just going to just give that a quick blast. Right, so now I've got some like proper acrylic paint, so we're just adding bits on, and I'm just gonna, this has got some kind of metallic-y glimmer in it, which I like. And I've got this nice purple that I'm not sure if it's alive or not. I'm just gonna, yeah, a bit there, a bit there. Kind of like just playing with it. Then I've got an old credit card, and I'm just going to, I really wanted the glowing around her, but spreading out so the purple, so let's just spread it around. We can always add more, but I wanted it to shimmer. And now this side, let's get some shimmering. I use credit cards quite a lot to create backgrounds because you don't know, you don't have so much control. But you also get some really unpredictable patterns that you might not have got if you try to control it. So I want a bit more of the shimmery stuff. Gonna have the light coming round her. Okay, it's covered up our affirmations there. Now I'm sort of doing some lines using your edge to, because I'm going to be putting some white in there, I think, to create more light. So just wiping off my card, and I've got some white. This is actually Very Chic chalk paint. So we've used Jane Davenport, we've used acrylics, and we're now using chalk paint. So you can see that these all just work very well together. It doesn't matter. So use what you've got if you want to have a go. Just watercolour equally would be fine. Gouache, coloured pencils, use what you've got. So just scraping that on a bit. I'm going to use the edge of the credit card to create some lines. So mainly I'm thinking that line is in completely the wrong place. So I'm just going to take that out. Yeah. So we do the lines this way. So. Okay. Right, quick dry off. I'm going to use some of that white again, this time with some sequin waste we're going to dampen down some of this purple. I'm using a stencil brush, and I'm not worried too much about it being even, because I just want it to look like that. I'm going to do a bit more this side. This is messy. Okay. Do a bit more on the other side. I don't really have a plan as such. I just want to see how it progresses. Hi Shaz, how you doing? You've missed the affirmations. The affirmations are underneath this painting of all the things we want to say to our loved ones who have passed over. And we've covered them up, but we know that they are there. Always. Okay. Let's let that dry. And I kind of feel like I still want to blot this and make it not as bold. Hi Denise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my Stabilo, my trusty Stabilo, because I think the girl needs to be darker in order to perhaps pop her a bit more. And I think we need some dark down here too. And I'm using this this image which I found on Google. I just googled angels. Well, I googled royalty-free angels actually. So that's where I've got the image from, and I didn't want to do an exact fine art piece of work anyway. I think it's a photograph. I just wanted the shape, the proportion. Okay. So this has had kind of 3 layers of darkness, gradually getting darker and darker on the angel, and you can see like each layer of it has improved it more, and each layer is, I'm putting less on than the layer before, just tiny bits. It's very dark in the original image under this. Hi Julie, how you doing? I don't get to see you anymore when I don't have my shot. And you can see in the original there's this sort of smoky cloudiness going on. I think I still want more of that. So let's get some water on the stabilo, and that will make it really inky. Stabilo is not the same as an HB pencil. They are literally called, you can get coloured ones I think, but I haven't tried the coloured ones. This is called a black Stabilo. If anyone wants them, you can buy them singly on Amazon. Chucking a paintbrush around. I bought box 12 because I worry if I've got one it will run out. So really I should use a bigger brush for those areas. Just, yeah. Just trying to like make that go off to a point. Well, we had the most fun ever last night in the Fairy Chic Club. We had our first Zoom meeting, get together, which is now going to be a weekly affair, and it was hilarious. It was really good fun, actually. If you want to see what my club's all about, pop over to my website. It's fairychicemporium.co.uk. It's loads of fun. Right. Hello, Julie. Thank you for joining. That's a new name. I don't know, where have you found me from? Now she's starting to take shape, I think. Yeah, I'm pushing some of the black ink, you sort of picking it up and just using it. There. Okay. Now, in reality, this side is all dark, and I'm just with this but I'm going to do as I'm told. Okay, this is very dark. That's why it is useful to have some kind of reference picture, because I didn't want to fill that in, but as soon as I have, it looks loads better. So okay, do some lines. Right, I want to do something with this. Let me find I wanted to find a sponge, but can't see one. I'm going to have to use my stencil brush again, I think. So these books are supposed to be propping this up so you can see better. Let's have a go. Instead of with white paint, I'm going to use some gesso. I'm putting it on my plate so I don't get a great big lump, but gesso is very good at kind of neutralising. It tones it down. I want to give this kind of cloud, foggy look going on. It looks better. I'm going to have to dry that off, I'm sorry. Now I'm going to have a go with, where have I put it? Ah, these are pastels. They look like makeup, don't they? They look like the best makeup ever. But what I've got is, these are Jane Davenport's and these are metallics. There's actually another 2 sets which I've got, which are not metallics, which are equally beautiful. And these were actually given to me by Fiona. And I have done an awful lot with them. And so I thought I would use these in today's, because I wanted to get some of the metallic kind of shine around her, seeing as she's of heavenly nature. I don't know how easy it'd be. I'll show it closer up. I'm just using a cotton bud. You could use your finger, but I want to sort of have a little bit more position. I like the fact that I know there's all this lovely affirmations underneath our work, that a secret that nobody else knows. So I'm going down the kind of lines that I'm created using that credit card. So I've got a kind of bluey silvery at the top, and then this goldy colour coming up from the bottom. It's quite effective. Let's see if I can get some with my finger around. Yeah. Jane Davenport's range is very cool. She's made all her products to kind of look like makeup, and she sells that the idea that we all know how to put our makeup on, and so when we ink, draw or create a face, that's just what we're doing. It's putting our makeup on. And if we change the thinking to that, it doesn't seem so impossible. Now this blue is really looking lovely. I'm going to put some darker blue. Yeah. So as we go further away, that's looking quite nice. And my last bit, I'm going to go in with my fine ink art pen to just detail up. So we've had 4 layers now on this angel. And each layer has got black lacquer. Okay, so now we put in some detail. I can put some strands of hair. I can now detail some of the wings, but in a very scribbly, suggestive way, not in a detail way. She had a bracelet around her arm in the picture, so I'll just put that in. It's really quite difficult to tell what it is. I've not done too much detail on the hands because I don't really like hands. Hands are quite hard. So I've let the paint just wash over that. Same with the feet, there's just a sort of impression of the foot, but it's enough. So I've used quite a lot of different mediums. Same piece, we used biro for our affirmations, we've used gesso, and we've used watercolour oh, got a smudge on my finger there. We've used the Jane Davenport crayons, we've used watercolour pencils, then we've used Stabilo, and we've used the Jane Davenport pastels. I used a bit of acrylic as well for the shimmer. And now I've used some ink, fine ink, and this is a Paint Posca pen for the fatter, darkest part of the whole. So it's used minimally. So every time you put another layer on, it I think just improves every time. So there she is. I haven't even really got a nose or a mouth one, but I'm going to leave that as it is. So this is my affirmation page where we've given messages to our loved ones and then we have hidden them. And this is the guardian angel that's going to keep our messages and our loved ones safe, I hope. I quite like that. I just want to do a little bit with this shimmery stuff. This is the acrylic paint. I've still got quite a lot of yellow around her head from that crayon, and I just want to make it more shimmery. Right. I think we've achieved this kind of glow around her. That's what I wanted, this magical. So today's journal page is dedicated to my lovely friend, you'll know who you are, who is suffering great misery right now. And I just wanted you to know that I'm here with you in thoughts and prayers. There, that's looking really cool and shiny. I'm going to just lift it up for you to see a little bit more. And if you can see the shininess around her head. If I move it slightly, do you get the glint? Hope so. So quite difficult to kind of get the flatness going because it is in a journal. But I hope you've taken something from today, those of you that have joined me, and have a go at your own affirmation angels. I would love to see what you can do, and if you want to join my mixed media art journaling art group and post your work, I would love to see it. I'm on this time every Thursday, 1 o'clock till 2, and you can catch me here live, but if you want more tutorials on some of the other things that I've done, as you can see, you can find them all on YouTube. I've done several angels, more angels. I like angels. So, if you want to see more of that, join me live. And thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye.